KG Ringy quick hitter. Meg dives. 2.5 to about 23 million years ago, 50-foot-long megalodon sharks enthusiastically chewed on massive whales like KG gnawing on a barbecued turkey leg after a day-long hike through the Montana mountains. They also gnawed on the local dugong population, which were huge manatee-like creatures. Everybody talks about jaws and great whites, but they were puny in comparison to a meg, only about a fourth as big. During the gnashing and biting and fighting and whatnot, teeth got knocked out, massive rib bones were snapped, and they all fossilized at the bottom of the sea into black rocky formations that occasionally get exposed in the sand as today's ocean floor shifts off the coast of Venice, Florida. KG and I are used to digging up 150-year-old coins and rings, but now we're being tasked with finding something cool from like 10 million years ago without a detector. Like KG says, you gotta use your eyeballs. Yeah, KG and I have undoubtedly been on a few amazing tours and trips over the years, but this past week or so in Florida was nothing short of spectacular. We got to meet up again with the mastermind behind the event, artist, diver, and treasure hunter Gary Penta, as well as a bunch of our other Florida friends. The cast and crew of this expedition consisted of Gary, KG, me, CB, Marc Hoover, Jerry Burpaw, Dave Seiler, Ed the Fossil Guy, KG's daughter Morgan, and my son Ian. One of the highlights of getting our kids to Florida was seeing Morgan, Emily, and Ian together again after all these years. Here they are in Montana a few years back, and now they're in Florida. Crazy how time flies. The night before the dives, we assembled with the crew at Daryl's for drinks, a pre-briefing, and some chow. A couple of Diggers fans dropped by to say hi, and then we had to try to get some sleep with all the anticipation and anxiousness. So anyway, Captain Jamie and First Mate Claudia took us out on the Aristocat to dive in a former whale breeding ground full of fossils where we had a real chance to find a megalodon tooth, and with a nice one, maybe win the coveted Golden Meg award.
I'm gonna try to find a tooth as big as my hand that was in a million-year-old shark, and then I'm gonna bring it to the surface and win a golden trophy.
He's full of Shut up.
Ready? Go. Day one was tough for me as far as finds go. I spent a lot of time looking at weird fish, big crabs, skinny stick-like crabs, and whatever this thing is. CB and I found this big sea cucumber thingy just hanging out all by himself. I'm not sure if they turn into butterflies or what, but if so, it'll be the size of a pterodactyl. The seafloor was littered with a plethora of fossils, featuring loads of cool old rib bone sections from dugongs and whales that fell prey to the Megs, but I surfaced after the first couple of dives toothless. Everyone else did way better. CB found 2 different inner ear bones from whales and a perfect Meg tooth. A shark expert from way back, Ian brought back several different types of shark's teeth. Tiger, mako, lemon, and megalodon, all ancient. So weird to think that these things were swimming around in basically the same water. And KG bobbed up to the surface all happy with a handful of 5 or 6 Meg teeth all his own, including a huge perfect one. He was all full of himself as usual, and rightly so after that dive. I was dumbfounded and immediately felt sad, weak, and insecure. I held back the tears of failure at first, but eventually let them flow into my mask uncontrollably, knowing that no one would notice a few extra drops of salt water in this vast, fluid expanse we call the Gulf of Mexico. On my last dive of the day, I headed into an open area without so much reefy stuff, and almost immediately this happened. Yep. My first Meg tooth ever. It was the center of what would have been a huge tooth. The sides were missing, but I didn't care. It was clearly a massive Meg tooth, and I was finally able to taste some success, which coincidentally tasted a lot like salty sand with a sprinkle of fish poop. The final day we were treated to some rougher waters. It was a bit sporty, as the captain put it. In spite of a little queasiness and uneasiness for a few on board, we completed some good dives, and on the last dive of the day and of the trip, I found myself in a bone bed with a few pinfish, and suddenly there's a Meg tooth right in front of me. Incredibly, I look over and see another one within feet of it. I was elated. There must have been a big battle here because ribs and other skeletal parts were scattered everywhere. Another tooth appeared 10 feet away, and within 10 minutes, I had a handful. 5 teeth on one dive, including a perfect one. Pretty amazing finish to an already great set of dives. On one dive, I placed a broken ceramic bird I found on a dig last year near the boat anchor and waited for an unsuspecting swimmer to happen by. No such luck on that dive, but after the following dive, KG came back up all excited about finding an old bird statue. Success! So funny that he filmed the amazing find and that I had the footage of placing it down there as well. Birdie may just have to go on some more dives with us in the future. As we were headed back to shore, we got a little close to this osprey nest, and these 2 birds were not happy at all. They chased us for at least 100 yards to make sure we didn't come back. After docking the boat and unloading all our gear, we set up for the best tooth competition with Captain Jamie as our judge.
And whoever wins is going to win the Golden Meg award. All right? All right, good luck. All right, buddy.
Okay, guys.
We must have found 30 or 40 teeth as a group, and maybe even more. Well beyond our expectations.
Pretty massive looking meg tooth. It's probably about 3 3/4, almost 4 inches, but it's got some wormholes in it and the serration, so we call the a beater, a little bit beat up. So far, this looks like the best tooth. It's going to clean up. All these teeth are pretty much reef teeth because you can tell by the material that's on them and stuff. But this is the most intact one so far, so we're going to put that right up front because that's the front leader right now. This is a great tooth too. If this was a whole tooth, it would have been the leader for sure because it's massive. It's a lower tooth, and the lower ones are what holds the meat, and then the top ones slice and dice. This one's pretty good shape as well. That one's will be second place if we had a second place winner. These are in good shape here. These are pretty good teeth as well. These make good necklace teeth, so those are third and fourth place probably. This one definitely would have been the winner if it didn't have what we call feeding damage. This is probably where the megalodon was eating a whale or a dugong, which is a manatee, and when it bit in, it snapped it off. Probably is about 4.5, so that would have been a 45-foot megalodon. So based off everything I see here, this is the winner. Whoever's tooth that is right there. So that's
Basically saying that you have the best megalodon tooth today in Venice, Florida, 2021.
There you go.
Yeah, brother. Woo! Thank you, Gary. Love you, man.
With Father's Day approaching, I was incredibly proud of Ian, who was the only other diver along with me who completed all 6 dives. KG had a proud daddy moment as well, getting Mo in the saltwater for the first time. She absolutely killed it, finding multiple meg teeth, including this gnarly monster. CB ended up with not 1, but 2 beautiful, perfect meg teeth, and Dave found a gigantic tooth that was unfortunately a little rough around the edges. Gary, Jerry, and Ian had a nice array too, but I admit KG deserved a win. Crazy nice tooth there. These 2 dinosaur fossil fans were not ready to quit. They'd be diving there every day if they could get away with it. After hosing off the salt, some of us hit a souvenir shop and bought some sterling silver Dive Buddy pendants. Had a great time meeting the staff at Sea Pleasures and Treasures in Venice. A lot of cool stuff in there. Pretty cool little charms. CB chose a stunning silver shark for hers. That's some more potential beach nectar for all you detectorists out there. We're always in treasure hunting mode, even without detectors. And in addition to the shark teeth, I spotted several coins right on the surface on this excursion, including this pile of pennies on a railing, a Coinstar spill, and even a pair of sunglasses. But the topper was this 14-karat gold Italian necklace, perfect for my new scuba charm. G and stir on the neck for Ringy. Found a load of miniature coins in my luggage when I got home, as did KG. Pretty sure that came from the Penta Horde, but as of yet, no one has fessed up to the soft-shell door handle attacks at the hotel. We're still investigating that incident. Throughout the course of the trip, I pressed a few pennies when I got the chance, including a couple of Wheaties. Ran out of copper ones and had to settle for Zinkies at Universal, but we got one with jaws on it, which felt really appropriate. Exhausted and starving, we hit a place further down the beach appropriately named Sharky's for some food and fun, and then headed back to reality, sort of. With memories of Florida fish still fresh in his tiny brain, KG hit the Oklahoma event with Steve Moore and Sergeant Whitey among others, while Ian and I toured the Duff Beer Factory in Orlando and went dinosaur spotting, which included a ride on the brand spanking new Velocicoaster in Jurassic Park, featuring an 80-degree 140-foot drop, a 70-mile-an-hour boost in 2.4 seconds, and an inverted zero-gravity stall. Yep. Pretty fast. Oh, and yes, CB and I saw a bird or two, but that'll have to wait for another time and place, as our Team ATC bird quota has already been reached for the month, so I'm not allowed to talk about tricolored herons, roseate spoonbills, limpkins, or fuzzy-headed baby green herons at this juncture. Here's a free look at a swamp bunny and a free-range gator, though. Well, we're already looking forward to the next dive adventure, but I can tell you right now it's going to be really tough to top. Special thanks to Gary and also to Captain Jamie with Aristocat Dive Charters for making this adventure a success. Later, alligator, Ringy out.
Quick hitter.